First person is Greg Haskins.
I'm sure y'all are tired of taking calls about fishing. My name is Greg Haskins. I'm the owner of Catching with Greg and Caleb. We are a surf and land-based shark fishing charter, which means we take tourists and locals on surf and shark fishing excursions on the beach. I am blessed and very lucky to make a living doing what I love. Georgetown and Murrells Inlet are fishing towns, and there is a long tradition of the members of this community making a living by fishing. I am part of this community, but my ability to continue to make a living is under attack. The elected officials that represent our community should respect, honor, and protect the history and tradition of the members of this community making a living by fishing. Our beaches are public spaces, and people therefore get to use them differently. While people's fear of sharks is irrational, that fear is a real fear. You are 88 times more likely to die from a rip current than a shark attack. No one has ever died from a shark attack in Georgetown County waters, yet we had someone die just the other day from a rip current. But I understand that the fear of sharks is a real fear, and therefore it is not unreasonable for there to be times during certain months that shark fishermen are not on the beach. I propose new language for the ordinance as follows. Land-based shark fishing is defined as using a kayak, drone, or methods other than casting to deploy baits off the beach that are specifically targeting sharks. Starting the Friday before Memorial Day through Labor Day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., land-based shark fishing is not permitted. That's it. There's no need to include anything in your ordinance about ordinary surf fishing. That said, the original ordinance language was clear that they wish to ban all surf fishing, and members of this council have made public statements making it very clear that the ordinance would be specifically targeting me and my business. To protect my business and my ability to continue to make a living, I have filed a lawsuit against Horry County shark fishing ban, stating that it violates my constitutional right to fish under the state's constitution, Article 1, Section 25, and that is preempted by state regulation of fishing, which allows shark fishing from the beach, subject to a number of rules and regulations. These so-called safety ordinances that ban shark fishing are unconstitutional and unlawful. This is America. Our laws are based in truth, fact, and reality. And the reality is that shark fishing has never injured a bystander, swimmer, or surfer in South Carolina waters. This is not some dystopia where our laws are subject to the whims of random beachfront owners. This is America.
Dominic Gullo. Eddie McEldowney Jr. John Johnson. There we go.
Good evening. My name is John Johnson. I live here in Georgetown, and I wish to speak to the proposed surf fishing change to the existing beach regulations ordinance. First, let me commend council in trying to ensure the public safety as it enjoys the beaches in Georgetown County. However, choices and changes should be based on facts, not hearsay, rumors, or fear. I checked nearby beach regulations and found that Horry County does not restrict surf fishing, but rather the manner in which a person fishes. The city of Myrtle Beach, which is by far one of the most densely populated areas, states that swimmers have priority over surf fishing. Surf fishing must maintain, or fishermen must maintain, a 50-foot separation. It doesn't say they can't fish. Next, I found Surfside has a ban from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., being fair to all the beaches, with little explanation. Pawleys Island does not prohibit surf fishing unless fishing for sharks. From 2007 to 2025, there have been 3 shark attacks in Georgetown County. Actually, I'm running out of time, but since 1837, there have been 8 attacks in Georgetown County. That's 188 years. None of them were ever mentioning next to or near a surf fisherman. These are all facts you should look up. I found not one mention of surf fishing in the vicinity of a shark bite incident. Placing, thank you.
Sanford Graves. Michael Shope.
Good evening. My name is Michael Shope. I'm a resident of North Litchfield Beach in District 6 of Georgetown County. A lot of folks know me as a South Carolina fishing coach. I'm here to speak in opposition to the new amendment or any new surf fishing amendment. The state constitution, Article 1, Section 25, protects the individual's rights to hunt, fish, and harvest wildlife on public lands. SCDNR regulates what we're allowed to fish for, what we keep, and what we can harvest. We pay a license fee for this right. The current ordinance in Georgetown County prevents surf fishermen from fishing in a way that creates a hazardous or unsafe condition. This is enough. This is absolutely enough to regulate and maintain surf fishing in a safe way. I understand the council made the statement that they never intended to ban surf fishing. I would ask the council to look at it through the eyes of the public. What was read in and what passed the second reading unanimously was indeed a ban of surf fishing daylight hours for the majority of the surf fishing season. It was also stated that the new ordinance was going to be brought on for public safety. I would challenge the council to provide that data that shows that public safety issue. Georgetown County has been here 249 years. Surf fishing has historically been a part of that legacy of Georgetown County for that entire time, as long as people come to the beaches. Can't find a single incident where surf fishing has endangered, harmed, or injured a person. Surf fishing has a huge impact on our economy in Georgetown County. People come to the beaches of Georgetown County to surf fish with their families, swim, they rent property, they buy equipment from the local bait and tackle stores, they buy license fees, and it results in returning tourism. What I'd like the council to do is to actually vote the current ordinance down. Let's let the state legislators regulate our fisheries. The ordinance that's in place is plenty good enough. If the council believes that we do need to adjust the ordinance or we need to have another ordinance, let's bring in true experts. Let's bring in surf fishing guides. Let's bring in SCDNR. Let's bring in a state legislator. Let's bring in a marine biologist. Let's sit down as a group and determine a path forward that works for everybody. We don't want to penalize the surf fishermen. They've not done anything wrong. They've not caused any public harm. We don't want to fish or...
Please wrap your comments up, sir.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Any questions for me?
Jeff Raymond.
Good evening, everyone. I'm a taxpayer in Georgetown County. I have some issues that I would like to air in public, but not without solutions. Otherwise, it's just going to be another bitch fest. So I'll offer some common sense solutions as well. Please don't Horry County the Georgetown County beaches. Don't New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Florida them. This overregulation in these areas lessen the fulfillment of our Declaration of Independence, to wit, the pursuit of happiness. I've been to many of these beaches, and quite frankly, they are unpretty. Our beaches may well be the last pretty, well unregulated beaches in the country. Therein lies the beauty and the appeal to a wide portion of the population. Let me talk about beach access for a minute. Y'all have shut down 3 public beach accesses effectively. Georgetown County beaches are effectively closed to the public as there is no nearby parking. One is boarded up to a seawall erosion caused by the gated community. I'd like you to take up clearing the private use of public property in Georgetown County. Landscaping on public property up and down South Waccamaw. I'm talking about the road accesses, concrete, I'm not going to get to all this. Please open the beaches back up to the people of South Carolina. And this surf fishing thing is best handled by the state legislature. Thank you.
James Tyner. James Tyner. James Tyner.
How you doing? As somebody that's 60 years of fishing at this beach down here, I've never had an issue on the beach with swimmers. Not before 10, 11 o'clock. I've never seen the beach crowded. It's evident y'all don't go on the beach much, and that's fine. Everybody doesn't. But even if you did regulate it, 9 o'clock is way too early. There's friends of mine that come from Florence. You have to drive down here. Setting up on the beach to fish takes a while. Nobody wants to fish for 3 hours. 4 hours is plenty. Usually this time of year it gets too warm. You ready to go home, swimmers start coming in. People don't want to fish around swimmers. We don't want to hurt nobody. And nobody, but swimmers will get on top of us sometimes, so sometimes we'll just move. But my issue is regulating fishing is ridiculous. And like I said, I've been doing it with my grandfather, my uncle, my dad for years, all down Georgetown County and Horry County, all up and down the beaches. But anyway, I just think y'all need to think about this thing a little bit different and, look at it from a different perspective and make sure that we're safe and being able to fish and the swimmers are safe. And at this point, that's all I got to say, and we'll find out on the next meeting. Thank you.
Liam Perry.
Morning, Georgetown County Chamber. All right, so to the members of Georgetown Council, I gave everybody a paper. You should have it on their desk if you can read it with me. All right, I'm writing to formally object to any current proposed and future county ordinances that restrict the lawful activities of hunting and fishing within Georgetown County. Such ordinances are unconstitutional under Articles 1, Section 25 of the South Carolina Constitution, which explicitly provides the traditions of hunting and fishing are valuable parts of the state's heritage, important for conservation and a protected means of managing non-threatened wildlife. The citizens of this state have the right to hunt, fish, and harvest wildlife traditionally pursued, subject to laws and regulations promoting sound wildlife conservation and management as prescribed by the General Assembly. This section makes clear that only the General Assembly of South Carolina has the authority to regulate hunting and fishing as a matter of wildlife conservation and management. Counties do not possess the constitutional authority to impose independent restrictions that would limit or interfere with those protected rights. Furthermore, any county ordinance seeking to restrict fishing or hunting would conflict with the state's sovereignty over its natural resources, not the county's. Also expressly preserved under Article 1, Section 25. Local governments cannot substitute their own policy preferences for the statewide framework established by the General Assembly. For these reasons, I respectfully request that Georgetown County refrain from enacting, enforcing, or maintaining any ordinance that limits fishing or hunting beyond what is authorized by state law. Should such an ordinance be adopted or enforced, it would be vulnerable to immediate constitutional challenge. I appreciate your attention to this matter and expect confirmation that the county will adhere to its constitutional obligations.
Ginger Pop.
Good evening. He's a better speaker than I am. I am born and raised in South Carolina, a Clemson graduate, extreme outdoorsman, and a mother to a son who is addicted to fishing as well. We don't own a boat and we don't live on the water, so most of our fishing is from the shore or on the banks. This is a pastime activity that brings people together for fellowship, family time, and for some, putting supper on their table. Fishermen and swimmers have cohabitated for years, as have the sharks and swimmers. Most know that if you show up to the beach and someone is already fishing, you move down and vice versa. Isn't this a drinking town with a fishing problem? The fact that this passed twice with total agreement is of concern to me and to others. And I have been wondering also, how do we expect our local law enforcement to enforce this when they are already stretched thin and responding to very serious crimes around the county? Please don't let a few people determine how the rest of us enjoy our beautiful beaches. Please let the Department of Natural Resources handle these types of issues and look to them for guidance. I've heard that this issue is being tabled, and I heard this again tonight. I'm asking you to, quite frankly, trash it. The only thing that needs to be tabled are the fresh caught seafood from the shores of our beaches. Thanks for allowing me to speak tonight and for listening.
Jason Rosenberg.
If the goal is to protect the beach, why punish the people who respect it the most? Good evening, council members. My name is Dr. Jason Rosenberg. I'm also Captain Jason Rosenberg, Painkiller Charters. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. I'm here to respectfully oppose the proposed ban on all fishing from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. from our beaches, jetties, and piers. As someone who spent countless hours with a line in the water, sometimes catching fish, more often catching nothing but a sunburn, I can say this with confidence. A bad day of fishing still beats a good day at the office. But with this proposal, we're not even allowed the bad day. This ban would eliminate fishing during the hours most people can actually get out there. Retirees, families with kids, people who work nights and weekends, tourists looking for a piece of the local experience. For many of us, fishing isn't just a hobby, it's a form of therapy, a way to unplug from the chaos and connect with nature and each other. Let's also not forget the economic angle. Local bait shops, tackle stores, sandwich counters, charter guides all rely on steady daytime traffic. Eliminate fishing during the day, and you're not only just banning lines in the water, you're cutting off dollars from local small businesses. If the issue is trash, overcrowding, or safety, let's target that directly. Enforcing littering rules, putting up signage, consider time sharing or zones if truly necessary, but a full 12-hour blanket ban is like using a sledgehammer to squat a mosquito. This feels less like policy and more like punishment for people who love the outdoors. Let's not turn fishing into a secret activity that can only happen under the cover of darkness. Let's protect access, not restrict it. I urge you to reject this ban and work with the community for a smarter, more balanced approach. This isn't sensible regulation, it's legislative overreach that hooks every fisherman for the actions of a few. This is the third reading, but it doesn't mean it's the right solution. Shelf this ban, let's work with the community to draft something that targets real problems, not responsible people. Bad policy rushed through is still bad policy. Thank you.
Jill Keynes.
Good afternoon, Council. Thank you for having us here today.